talk. Let me see if it's. Sammy, Joe, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Nope, it's just on.
Good afternoon. I call this meeting to order at 12:02. Let us have a productive meeting where we will participate as equals. We will discuss openly and honestly. Can you hear me? Yes. We will disagree with gracefulness. We will stick to the agenda. If anyone here wishes to participate in public comment, please remember to state your name. You can only comment on the action item that's being discussed at the time. You can talk once for 3 minutes, and please remember, we cannot answer you. Oh, also, please remember, there are no personal attacks on any of the trustees that sit at this table or any of the employees of the libraries. We are prohibiting interruptions, shouting, and other disruptive behavior, such as talking among yourselves. If you disrupt our meeting, you will be asked to leave the room. Have I heard that? Yep. Okay. We will begin. Call to order, changes or additions to the agenda. I have some. Does anyone have any others? I have two. No? Okay. I've reviewed the agenda and there are some adjustments that I would like to make. According to Robert's rules, the agenda can be changed with a 2/3 vote. I propose that the director's report go back where it was before, which is after the branch reports and before the announcements. Where's announcements? Excuse me, let's see.
Oh, announcements are item 5.
Yeah, okay. This is where Jenny Staff at the library commission meeting says it should be changed. And then I would also like to have, under new business, I think it's old business. I have an amendment to the bylaws to be placed in the unfinished business. And this is documented in our trustee bylaws. This has been discussed in June and July of 2024. So would anyone like to please make a motion to add these two adjustments to the agenda? Could I have a motion?
I can make a motion to add the two adjustments to the agenda. One will be on 5, and the other one will be under unfinished business.
Okay, is there a second? Do I have a second?
Sure, I'd second that.
Jesselyn seconds. Okay, and is there any we discuss? Or we just vote?
We just want.
Okay, there is a motion on the table to change the agenda for 2 different items. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion is carried. All right. Public comment. Public comment. Items on the agenda. Is there any? Are there any? The proper language? Any public comments of the items on the agenda? Okay. We are moving on to the minutes, considering approval of the no, this is not. February minutes.
We have a minute, of course.
Are we going to approve 3 items in one action?
Yes, we're gonna
No,
try.
just 2.
Really two.
Okay,
As the directors.
because we don't approve the director's report.
Yeah.
That'll be a little later. I'm sorry, I had the wrong. My January's. Okay, consent agenda. Action item, we have the February 26th meeting minutes and the February 2025 financial reports. If you've looked them over, if you want to discuss for a moment, we can. Before we vote, there's a change that you want to make or a question?
I just have a question about the MLA conference and the membership. We're supposed to be able to know when the something costs over 500.
So,
Estimated how much the cost will be to stay.
no, I think I'll be fine.
Is it on the
Yes, it
February
is.
bill?
Yep.
Yeah.
So for the MLA registration, was my total for registration was $270. There will be some cost for gas, but I'm taking the county vehicle. Last year, I believe it was under 60, so that puts that into 330-ish, so under 350. The other portion is for Sammy Jo Summers, the Geraldine librarian, to go this year. Her cost, I believe, was $270, and then she had her MLA membership, which all librarians can get, which is in at 60. So mine was under 350 and hers was approximately the same.
And what is your approximate cost to stay in Bozeman?
$0. I'm staying with a friend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so just getting there.
Yes. Yep. In the county car. So it's not the federal reimbursement rate. It is gas cost at the
Yes,
pump.
yes.
That will save about what, $400?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, any other questions from the meeting or the financials? Meet the minutes for financials.
And the fiscal year ends in June, July.
June
starts.
30th is the end.
So we're about 2/3 with the February numbers.
Yes, 2/3.
Anything else? We good to go? Let's see, can I have a motion to accept the meeting minutes from February and the financial reports from February. Do I,
I will make a motion to accept the February minutes and financial reports.
do I have a second? Right, public comment. Did I do that right?
Mhm.
Okay, public comment on any of these two items? Okay, we will vote. There is a motion on the floor to accept the meeting minutes and the financials. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Okay. Branch reports. Big Sandy, are you on, Darlene? Darlene?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Do you have a report for us?
For February, our spice of the month was lavender. We continued to work on getting the books back in order from the carpet move in January. We were gearing up for summer reading, planning events and activities with the community. February was Library Lovers Month and appreciation of the support of the community, thanking all of our volunteers, the hard work of the Friends of the Library, or making donations. And thank you to all the wonderful people that have done this in the past and continue to do these things to keep our library moving forward. And that's my report.
Thank you. Fort Benton.
Our themes for February, were Black History Month, Black Authors, Youth Media Awards, Valentine's Day, Love and Romance, Presidents, Groundhogs, Heart Health, and Tea Parties. Projects included hosting the Reimagining Rural collaboration. That was a community group that wanted to come in, wanted me to sit in on that committee. That was 3 Tuesdays in February. We hosted teddy bear tea parties for the Fort Benton pre-K, kindergarten, and first grades. That's always a lot of fun. And I talked about this last month a little, since it was the end of the month, but we had Hassan Davis as York in collaboration with River and Plains.
Was that nice?
It was great. It was well attended.
Good. All right. Geraldine, Sammy Jo, are you there?
Yes, I am. Our themes for the month were new books, Valentine's Day, and Black History Month. For projects, I am continuing to work with our 2 local teams that are doing the Democracy Project and ordering the things that they have decided to work on. They've decided to do an additional free little library here in town. They feel that ownership of books is just very important, and so they wanted to focus on that. And that's all I have.
Thank you. We,
No change, and I haven't had any communication about,
So do you?
I would.
You want to give your director's report?
sure,
Okay.
there's, okay, yeah.
You want this?
Nope. So the director report for for today. So for Benton Library building updates, the flooring in the McLeish room was installed between March 5th and March 10th. No closure was needed. Volunteers helped move materials into other spaces. We moved a lot of stuff in here and into the newspaper room. And then we were able to they came in and they did one end, and then we had Leo's and other volunteers that came in and helped move all the books and shelving to the other side. So if you get a chance to look, it is opposite of what it used to look like. That also included moving the craft corner to the opposite side, which allowed for organization and going through and seeing what we had. So that was really great. And the community response to the flooring has all been very positive. Women's Club has been able to meet in there. We had bingo in there. We had our book sale in there. So it's all been great. Tom Hayden was great to work with, and it got done very quickly. Program updates. The Heirloom Quilt Show will be held throughout April. We're getting geared up for that. The quilts will be on display all month, but we'll have an open house on Tuesday, April 8th. In conjunction with National Library Week. Pathfinder I talked about last month, but I wanted to bring it up again, is Thursday, May 1st, 9 to 3. The board will need at least one representative in attendance, and Chris Goss will be the training that day. Budget, like Kim brought up earlier in the meeting, we are 2/3 of the way through our fiscal year budget, so I didn't want to bring any numbers quite yet. I will have a better idea at the end of the third quarter, but I will have initial numbers at that time. And wanted to bring to the board that Nancy Grossman is finishing up the end of her term. So she will be done June 30th. So that is,
So can we put that out to the public in Highwood so that we can get some applications?
yeah, I think so. I think we're going to talk, it's on the agenda to talk about later in the meeting.
And then,
So,
you'll let the commissioners know then, because they need to be.
yeah, oh yeah,
involved.
yep.
And then can I offer to do the Pathfinder meeting
Oh, great.
right now, or is that,
Whatever you want to.
And can we
is there a
have,
better time?
can we have a quorum at the training, or training
Just have
separate, or
to-
do we have to advertise it?
We
At
just
the time.
have to say, I will put up a notice that says there will potentially be a quorum, but
Okay.
for training purposes only, no business will be conducted.
Is that-
Okay,
And that, you can set that date.
thank you.
What was that for?
Thursday, oh, the Pathfinder, Thursday, May 1st.
Okay.
Thank you, Jesselyn. for
Yeah.
Volunteering.
I
And
would encourage
and you said the
everyone
Heirloom
to do
Quilt
that,
Show,
actually, if you
That's
could.
good.
what's on Tuesday, the 8th?
That's the quilt. That's the open house for the
Open
quilt
house,
show.
that's what I
Yeah.
did.
Do we need any motions? That was
Nope.
just done?
Nope.
Okay, thank you, Emily. All right, announcements, we did that. Unfinished business. We have the mission statement and the vision statement. Did you put a copy in our stuff?
Yeah.
So,
I think so.
Yep, there.
Right here.
And did you, any discussion, or have you thought about it, looked at it? You probably didn't.
do you want me to read it?
Yes, could you?
So Nona and I met last week to look at the mission statement and the vision statement. So they're more succinct, shorter, which is great. The mission statement. The mission of the Chouteau County Library System is to create libraries that are an inviting center for information, instruction, learning, leisure, and cultural opportunities. So that is the new mission statement. Does that, you want anybody
Just any discussion?
on the table?
Yeah, we simplified it. That was my goal. Yeah, it was my goal to do that. And Emily was very helpful because she wrote down things that my brain didn't think about. So we worked well together. So everyone liked it?
Doesn't matter.
No? So.
No, I
okay.
think she's asking if the board members like it.
Yeah, is there any, is it okay? Okay.
And then the vision statement, The vision of the Chouteau County Library System is to preserve the past, embrace the present, and build for the future while maintaining a collection of diverse materials and providing access to technology.
We kind of put 2 or 3 of them together and
Mhm.
made that work.
Simplified it a bit.
Simplified it, yes, yes. Any questions? You like, you guys have it?
Yeah.
Good? Yeah, okay. All right, do we,
I think you could do them individually, would probably be the,
to vote?
yeah.
Okay, I would like a motion to accept the mission statement, the new mission statement.
I move to accept the mission statement as it is written.
Okay, is there public comment? Right, we will vote on accepting the new mission statement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, that's done. We will do the vision statement. Can I have a mission a motion to accept the new vision statement?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the vision statement. Was read by Emily.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Is there public comment on the new vision statement? Okay. There's a motion put on the table for the new vision statement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carried. Hotspot, you want to talk on that? Emily? This
So.
is our 3rd time.
Yeah, so the board indicated that they were fine with the wording before. So yeah, we just brought it, this is the 3rd time that it's come, so. It should be in I should have given you a copy. I did not include a copy in this packet because, okay, yeah.
Okay,
I would like a motion to approve the hotspot policy.
for a second?
I'll second.
All right, is there public comment on the hotspot agreement? It's coming through.
Mhm.
Did you read the hotspots agreement?
It's pretty long.
It's long.
Never mind.
It's like a whole contract.
So
Basically it is, so we have the hotspots. It talks about the cost. It's 2-week checkout and then you have to bring it back for 1 week. They are quite popular, so that gives other people the opportunity to have it. And it goes into, it's not filtered, so that's more for like a parental that they know. It's not, we don't have any filters in our library things. And a cost breakdown if there are replacement costs, but yeah.
thank you.
Emily, this is Sissy. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Since I don't know if it's a new policy or if it's added to a policy, but will all employees be retrained and be able to read this so they can understand it?
oh yeah, that's a good point. We will, because I don't want to say it was a lost policy, but you're right, the training hadn't happened, so yes, we will be going over it.
All right. Someone like to make a motion on accepting.
It's-
voting.
Oh,
you just-
there what?
You're just voting now. There's been a motion.
Oh, all right. All in favor of accepting the hotspot agreement, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion is carried.
So I included the objectives on the agenda. We had agreed in October that we would follow the policy calendar. And I just wanted to read through this. It's not up for motion. This is just per my evaluation last month, communication and transparency. So currently, the approved policy, which was approved September 28th of 2022, the objectives are: number 1, to provide the best possible library services within the financial guidelines set by the Library Board of Trustees. Number 2, to select materials that will help meet the educational, informational, and recreational needs of all people served by the library. Number 3, to provide easy access to these materials. And number 4, to select materials that will achieve a balance between materials of contemporary interest while creating a collection of permanent value and to acquire material that reflect differing points of view. So that's just currently what's on is the policy. I just wanted to take a chance to be able to read it to the
And I would
public.
like to send it back to the policy committee so we can look at new ones. That's okay.
No, because it wasn't a, yeah.
Okay, any discussion from you ladies? Okay. Capital Improvement Committee.
Do you want me to talk about what I included? How I included it first?
Yes.
So
Okay.
as you look at your packet of materials, after the mission and the vision, this front page says items in capital improvement plan for Fort Benton branch in order of priority. And if you look at the back is what was presented last month. So the back with the lines through it, those are either projects that had been finished or were decided that they should not be part of the capital improvement plan at all. So the front is just the cleaned up. It's without the crossed off parts. And then the second page after that, that says capital improvement fund project ideas, that looks like this. I brought this. I found it when I was looking through materials. This was a survey that I believe was done at the end of July, beginning of August 2020. That's why some of them like have already been done. I thought this was good to have in front of the board. We have some new members on the board. And that was a while ago now, so you can go through and it's fun to be able to make a check mark next to what or cross off what's already been done and see what's left or how priorities have changed. So I didn't include this page, but it has the timestamps of when those were returned. So if anybody wants a copy of that. So Kim, though, you can.
Yeah, so Jessalyn and I are on the committee. We haven't really worked on it. We think this document is pretty good, but as I understand it, one of the main reasons for having a capital improvement plan is easier grant application. So this will be a tool that'll help us achieve funding. I imagine it's something we could edit at any time necessary. So it can be pretty brief, it can be pretty changeable, but that's why it's not very precise. Kind of a policy in motion or a plan.
Just that I hope that we can meet with foundation in order to go over all of this and
Yep.
to have it more clear on our
Yes.
roles in each.
Yeah.
So one of the things that when Ashley Kent came into the government training is, so for the public notice portion of it, the bigger the project and the more things cost, the more time you let the public know that things are coming down the chute. So if someone comes in and says, what is like the working plan? Like we can assure them that that's not a finalized plan, but we might be able to, yeah, you never know what connections you can make if people see that.
And anything that goes to the foundation, or comes from the foundation, goes through the trustees first. This is
So this
Montana
paper-
code annotated
Yes,
right here.
it is a
So
law.
I have copies.
Okay.
So anyway, it says trustees' powers and duties. Right there it starts about the library's position. And down below, it, still under trustees, it says, have the power to accept gifts, devices, bequest of property, and all that. But it still goes back to the trustees.
So you're looking at item number 8?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was able to contact. Yeah, you want me to go ahead? Yeah, so I was able to contact local, which is the Montana Association of Officials, because the library is under the county and the county owns it, and they explained this is a state law, meaning that's a statute enacted by the Montana legislature. So it has the force of law and it does have to be adhered to. So you can see at the bottom, and there's copies if anybody wants here, right here, the history. And the history, every time this was approved. And some of them go back into 1927, 1937, 1967. And Tracy did talk at one time to us how important it was that you had a place like the foundation. Because that was able, because before that, and I've been on the board since 2014. Before that, we would raise goals, money for things like the carpet, and the county would put it in their county fund. So this way, this kept it so that we could raise funds, write grants, you know, take donations and everything else, but it still is under the title of the library.
So Janet, is your thought that with the capital improvement plan, this will serve as approval from the board for the
No.
foundation?
No,
This doesn't, if we
No.
adopt this plan, we do not give the foundation clearance to fund these?
we have to give you clearance to fund them, and that is by actually, so here's a public, and this is from our book. It says we have to go by 22-1-303, which you have, and it says the board owns a property in the name of the county. And the board has the authority. So just like, I have it, just like when Big Sandy wanted to put carpet in.
That wasn't approved by the, or that was, but
That
the
was-
shelving was not approved by the
No.
board.
So this is a copy they sent us from Havard to get the
Mhm.
carpet. Then they came before us with the
Mm-hmm.
carpet, and then it goes back and it's approved.
So
But-
the shelving that was added last year, though, was not approved by the board. It was only approved by the foundation. I went back and looked in the
I
minutes.
know that, that's
So-
because we asked you to come back to the board with it.
The shelving?
Yeah, you did it, you had already written for it, and we asked that, and every year it's gone here.
No, I'm talking about the construction, and the new shelving that was
Right.
built was not approved by the board. It was just approved by the foundation in January of 2024.
Who was,
I don't remember.
right? See, as I read this, the trustees, we have the ability to deny, to not accept a gift, like if the foundation
Yeah.
bought something we didn't approve of,
You do.
but I don't think that's been an issue so far.
No, so back in 2013 is when, Debbie Gassman came, 2014 is when I came. When we built the Big Sandy Library, everything went in the foundation, and that had to be approved by the library board in order. Now, what we did then, because it was such a large thing, every month, the foundation and the library met together, every month. So, and Big Sandy raised $616,000 for that. Of that, the foundation only gave 50,000. And everything went through. We had all the plans, we had all the blueprints, we had everything to look at.
And at that time, did it become an issue with the foundation doing
Well, that's no,
purchases
because
without the
they,
board approval?
it had to be the board approval.
Okay.
We approved everything. So.
So would you like this to be an action item?
Well, so,
Okay.
what it has to come back with, just like all things in the county, you have to have you have to have, proper paperwork.
So just, so you know, with the flooring, we had a conversation, Nona and myself and Jesselyn. So at that point, I think we we're confident we could have a quorum vote to accept the flooring. That's why we proceeded with it.
So I don't.
You
think
were
that-
not up for
I
buying the
was
flooring.
not, I did tell you no. And then
Not me.
No, when a conversation you and I had, you thought the flooring was okay,
flooring was okay,
but
but
not installation of the
not
flooring.
installation. Cause
Just
he
to have-
called and he came very fast. And you wanted to put it in and I didn't really know what to do, so we let you, but that was wrong, right?
I don't think so, because the three of us, to my memory, the three of us discussed a bid that included installation. So to me, it would be wasteful to accept the full bid amount and then not take them up on the installation. That was part of the cost.
Madam Chairman, may I please address this?
Yes.
This is where I feel like we really have to have a sit down between the foundation and us because there is a disconnect. And it's not getting across for whatever reason. And I just don't think it's understood what order it should go in. If that bid comes before us and we accept it as the board, then I think we're saying it's being implemented. But I think we did it incorrectly last time.
For the
And that-
installation.
I admit that I didn't know for sure how to go about that. So
Okay.
I do feel like what she's saying is that each time there is a project and we approve it as a board, like if the foundation has a bid, they bring it before us, we approve it, then it can be implemented, is what Janet is trying
Yeah.
to say. I don't know if that's perfectly right, but I do think Emily made a suggestion that we try is it called a memorandum of understanding? And maybe that needs to happen so that it is clear and we don't always come back to this and it can be a smooth process. I just,
I think a discussion is a good idea. I don't think you acted incorrectly, from past experience of the two boards, but I think a discussion would be a good idea.
yeah, I just to clear it up and then we can,
Because it is a statute.
And that's
It's by
why
law.
I would like to see, well, next month, April, the foundation and the board will meet in Geraldine, and I'm hoping that we can spend some time together and get this all figured out.
So why I wanted to keep it on the agenda for this meeting was not for approval, was just for the board members to have a chance to see what is now on the updated list. And then you can bring what you want in your comments
Yes.
on what is on there. This is not me asking for any of these items right now. This is me asking for a discussion
For the
to
future.
happen.
Yes.
Yes, so then when we get to next month, it's not, well, we haven't ever seen this list before, or you haven't presented it to us. Again, per my evaluation, this is for transparency and open communication.
and I appreciate that.
Yes, me too.
Sounds good.
I think
Is
we're
that-
all in the same boat that we want to see these happen. It's just, none of us are clear on the perfect way to move forward with it, and that includes with the foundation, just so we're all on the same page.
So that's why I thought it was good to meet next week, next month. And the foundation
Mhm.
members will be there, and whoever wants to stay, we can be there and figure it out.
Mhm.
Because I'm new, Jess is new, I don't know these rules, and so it's good to learn this stuff,
Yeah.
right?
I think you acted legally and correctly
Well,
in the past. for
Okay.
this.
So that'll be on the agenda for next month.
yeah.
So I included the strategic plan part on there, to say in this as part of the notification that the board is meeting with Corey Sloan, the Montana State Library consultant, on Tuesday, April 1st at 12:30 via Zoom to continue work on the strategic plan. I will post that in the regular channels, and there will be no business conducted at that time. The goal is to put together the strategic plan, to have it ready to put to a meeting. It might not even be the April meeting. It just has to be done by June 30th. So that is why I wanted to put that on there.
So if we don't get done in the April meeting, we have to get done in the June meeting. or we
Right.
lose Funding.
Right, yes,
Or the May.
the May meeting.
Okay.
Mhm.
Before July 1st.
Oh,
Right.
that's true, we do.
Yep.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, good.
So
thank
that
you.
was why I wanted to put that on there.
Okay.
And then the next item, Rich Jesperson came to the last meeting and requested that the board vote on bringing the consultant or the mediator, the training, a board training. I believe he said, please correct me if I'm wrong, that the foundation would be willing to pay for
You
that.
did say.
So,
I don't know that
Yes.
we actually voted on it, but everybody seemed in
yeah,
favor.
yeah.
Since he's not here, I thought he'd be here. Do we know when, he doesn't have a date, does he?
No, because it needs to be approved. That's, yeah.
Final schedule.
Nancy, did you have a question though?
Yeah, I think it would be better if it happens after July 1st.
Okay.
Trustee can,
This board training?
so that a new trustee can do that.
And I don't think, I think he's awful busy, and I don't think he'll even get to us.
Well, that's fine. That's just what
July.
was her,
So
yeah.
that works out good?
That would be good. Because part of that is
Yeah,
board needs training.
so do you want to vote on it?
Yep, so it was listed as an action item, so you can call for a motion for that.
Okay, do I have a motion to, let's see, board training, with, I don't know what it's called. Okay.
I just think board training via Rich
Yeah,
Jesperson
he
is
has all the
fine.
details.
Yep.
And I would like to have a motion to take that under, to do it.
I make a motion that we use the opportunity for Rich's son to give his board training, probably after July.
I second that.
Okay, we need public comment.
Mhm.
Public comment on that, is there anyone? No? Okay, we will vote, and I also want to say, let's put that in there, that the foundation will pay.
Okay.
Okay, so all in favor of this motion of having the board training opportunity with Rich's son or whoever they are, and foundation will pay, all in favor, say,
Aye.
opposed? Okay, motion carried.
And in case any of the public didn't know, when they talk about Rich's son, it's the organization he founded that works with nonprofits very specifically, so. It's not just the guy's son.
Thank you.
Yes.
And you can look up online, but I just can't remember what it's called. And actually, to back up a little, he helped a lot during COVID. He had a lot of training with these people because it was COVID, and they've carried forth, and they're doing quite well. All right.
That's still open about the flooring. I would like to know why you would move to buy the flooring, but then not to install it.
You don't have to respond to public comment. if you
No, I'm
don't
sorry,
want
we
to.
can't respond.
Okay, it's a question.
Yeah, I know. Okay, moving on to new business.
No, we have an old business, unfinished business.
Okay.
I would like to make an amendment to our bylaws. So our bylaws state, Article 7, Section 1, amendments to these bylaws may be proposed at any regular meeting, but may become effective only after a favorable vote at a subsequent meeting. Any of the foregoing rules may be temporarily suspended by unanimous vote. And Florence suspension will be entered, but this is an amendment to our bylaw. So,
You have to do your copies?
I have copies.
Thing covered.
Do you want me to read it?
Yes.
Prop-
I think I have one. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Proposed policy amendment to the library trustee bylaws. Subject, amendment to the trustee application. Purpose, to align our trustee application process with the Montana Code annotated 22-1-308, i.e. the governing body, county commissioners. Separation of powers. By vesting the final decision to the county commission, there is a clear separation of powers between those responsible for managing the funds and those responsible for selecting the trustees with the board involvement. Implementation of a committee. The library trustee chairman will oversee the trustee application review process, including the formation of a separate committee. Purpose of the committee. This committee will develop specific responsibilities, such as directly receiving all applications and reviewing said applications to present to the Board of Trustees. Evaluate applications based on the following criteria: community involvement, commitment to the library's mission, individuals' ability to work with others, area of Chouteau County to be represented. Accountability. The library trustees will receive the applications acquired and reviewed from the committee and the full board will vote on at least 3 recommendations to be given to the Chouteau County Commissioners. The Chouteau County Commissioners will receive all applications along with the Chouteau County Library Board of Trustees recommendations in order to appoint the trustee applicant of their choosing. The policy can be reviewed annually and revised as needed to ensure its effectiveness and alignment with library goals.
And the commissioners wanted us to do this. They were very much in favor, and they want to be involved in the choosing of another trustee. So. Any other discussion, any questions? And we don't vote on it today, we just discuss it, and then next month we will vote.
So,
You go.
No,
So the
that's fine.
amendment is the requirement of a committee.
Yes. there'll
Okay.
be a committee. And
Will
it'll be on section 2.
will the committee be will it just be people on the board, or are we gonna have
The committee
outside?
is appointed by the chairman.
But we're not gonna have any restrictions on if it's board members, if it's staff,
No,
if it's public.
it'll be trustees.
Okay,
Any other questions?
is this going to the policy committee? Or
No, it
just us
doesn't need-
first
no,
reading?
this is
It's just
amendment.
an amendment.
Yeah,
I think it'd be worth like having a little bit of breakdown, such as if you want it to be purely trustee members on the committee. We do have other committees that we,
No, it
Are
does
able
say
to form.
it does say the library trustee chairman will oversee the trustee, all of that.
application review
Mhm.
process, including the formation of a separate committee.
Mhm.
I just think it'd be worth to say the committee will only consist of board members. Because I think we have our review,
Okay.
like challenge book
Mhm.
committee is supposed to have a mix.
Okay,
So we have
Yeah.
other committees
you
that have
just
a mix.
want it, you want it just board members.
No, I'm okay with both, but I think it should be listed. If there's the idea, it will only be board members,
Well,
which would make
it
sense
is-
for
yeah.
personal
it's-
information.
it's
to
in
only
our
have board
bylaws.
I think it would have.
So
to
it's
be-
assumed that it's trustees, if it's in our trustee bylaws.
So in the trustee bylaws, Article 4, committees, Section 1 states, committees for the study of specific issues may be appointed by the chair. Each committee shall consist of up to 2 trustees and 1 other person who shall serve until completion of the work for which they were appointed. Committees shall serve in an advisory capacity and shall present their progress and recommendations at regular meetings of the board. That just is what that part says. And I think that one other person is potentially me, since I'm not a trustee, but I am
Or other staff. Okay,
secretary.
so that makes sense.
I do agree with Kim, though, that it would be okay to clarify that,
Yes,
What are we?
especially for the privacy of people submitting that information.
yes, I agree.
Where are we clarifying, Kim? I'm sorry.
It's on the
So-
implementation of a committee.
Okay.
I think we could just
So,
add a sentence. that
Including the
committees
formation of a separate committee
That shall consist
that
of,
consists of trustee members.
And one other person, right?
No, that's me.
No,
of, yep.
Any other questions?
Good.
Good,
Yeah.
okay. We will vote on it next month. Okay, is that fine?
So then, since Nancy asked before, I think this would be the appropriate, well, no, actually, it's later in the thing. Never mind. Thank you, Jocelyn.
Emily, am I allowed to ask a question about that?
I think.
Oh,
can she
I'm
ask
sorry,
the-
Madam Chair, I'm sorry. Can I ask a question about that?
You can ask, but we probably won't answer you.
Okay, I'm just a little confused. If there's 5 people on the board, why do we need another committee when you're selecting another trustee? Because if one leaves, that only leaves 4 people on the board to make that decision. Why do we need a committee? I'm confused.
Okay, thank you, Sissy. All right. New business? Okay. Director goals, you want?
So this is a little bit different, what is in your packet from what I sent out. So I looked at my evaluation from last month, comments that were submitted. I looked at the goals that were given to me.
I
From,
don't know if you got all the goals.
I don't know if I did.
I don't know if you got mine.
I did, you had copies that you,
I just scribbled in my own handwriting.
no, you had printed it out and brought it to the meeting last month.
Okay.
So I looked at that part of, and so I worked on that for a couple of weeks. And what after reflection and looking and asking and talking to folks, professionally. So I guess it does say work project goals, so that maybe was where some of the confusion. Anyway, so I was looking at it more of professional development for myself to become a better director,
Yes.
which is different. It was brought up that one of the things I had mentioned last month was working with River and Plains. And that is more of that's programming, not necessarily professional development. And so I sat down with a business owner who does mediation and trainings and things. And we sat for over an hour last week and we went through a list that I had already kind of put together. And I talked to Cole Bartow with the state continuing ed person to try to get some direction and put some real thought into it. And so based on comments that I received from the board, things that I would like to see myself improve in, I landed on these three. So the main overarching goals, number one, build personal communication skills and strategies for organization leadership. Number two, learn team building strategies to improve staff cohesion and morale. And number three, focus on personal development. Under personal communication skills and organizational leadership, that would include actions such as reflective listening, matching emotions, and action needed versus event of reality. So separating emotion from observation. This continuing ed or professional development will come through webinars, articles, and learning opportunities that are presented through the Montana State Library as well as Web Junction. And then I plan on presenting brief presentations to the board about the courses that I took or the articles that I read about a particular topic to let you know. And that is the same as focus on personal development, dealing with resistance and defiance, managing difficult people, and dealing with subterfuge. So again, through webinars, articles, and I will present those. And then team building strategies to improve staff cohesion and morale. I will come through. Basically, it's going to be like a lesson plan, group activities with follow-up discussion and application that will. The goal is to meet quarterly, but that doesn't always happen. Summer is a busy time. So that will be a 3-meeting arc that will also be presented to the board.
And that's what you mean by 3-meeting arc, is that it's?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I'll have the initial activity that we're going to do. The next time we will discuss what that is and then the application, how we can use that in our professional setting.
Any discussion? This is there's a lot of big words on here, Emily.
I would just like to say, I appreciate that you put on your goals of how to, when we first saw it, it didn't include that.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that you put that on there, and that at least shows us what your plan is.
And I can by next month I already have an initial list of classes that Collet sent and suggestions, so I just didn't have, trying to get it all pieced out of what I wanted to focus on. But I do have some of those that I can present next meeting.
So it looks like for the next year, you would like to focus almost entirely on leadership.
Yes.
Okay, growth.
Yep. and communication.
Because that was the bulk of your feedback.
Yes.
That makes
Yep.
sense.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. You don't think you got all our goals though?
I'm not sure because none of them had, well, yours had names attached because you had
so
copied it, but the other ones did not have names, so I don't know.
She got the majority of them. The
Yeah.
ones I had, I sent to her.
Mhm.
And I would assume that a lot of the
They
goals
were
are rolled
all-
into this without naming names.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't have any
Overlapped.
identification on any of them, so.
And so this we can adopt officially.
And then I
Vote on it.
believe then the use is at my evaluation next year, you look back at this and see that I have made improvement.
Okay, follow through with the.
Yeah, and did the learning.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Any questions for us?
Is this, so this is a separate action item than the director?
Yeah,
trustee project?
I
goals?
just had them on
Okay.
one page just because
Thanks, I appreciate.
paper.
No, looks good to me.
Yeah, thank you, Emily, very much. Do we have to vote?
Ye-
Yep.
You requested that it was an action item, yes.
I will-
Visit it. Oh, we just move them to.
I think you can request a motion to adopt this as the 2025 goals for the director.
Yeah, I need a motion to adopt these director work project goals for Emily's evaluation 2025. Is that correct? Okay, do I have a
Sounds
second?
great.
There's a motion on the table. Do we have a,
I'll make a motion.
okay, thank you. Okay. All right, is there, first, is there public comment? All right, we will vote. Everyone in favor of that long motion, can say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you, Emily.
You're welcome. So then I included the director / trustee project goals for 2025. These are the ones from 2023. I just brought them forward. This is not an action item. This is not anything like that. It's just what was on there. We are currently working on them, or the board is currently working on them. I think it's sometimes good to see it in black and white and have it brought forward. So you don't even have to, we've discussed strategic plan and capital improvement plan quite a bit already today. So
Yeah,
that's
and we'll
done
be
with it.
meeting with.
right.
And
Yeah.
then we talk about capital improvement plan in,
That's the only thing
Next
I would
month.
add for our goals is that we have that discussion with the
Yes,
foundation. And
yes.
that clarification
Mhm.
between each board.
yep,
So discussion with the foundation at the
Yes.
April meeting.
okay. We did the board goals, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Open trustee position.
So this was because I wasn't sure with the request that the director report be in the consent agenda. I wasn't sure if that was going to be read or not, so I wanted to make sure this was on there just to be able to say that that position will be open. And then I would like to ask the trustees if I can then start advertising that in our, there won't be any extra expense. It could be in our box ad and via an article in the paper.
But all those applications go to the trustee board.
Yeah, it's just a call for applications, a notification that they're,
They go to whoever the trustee,
I imagine they get mailed to the library.
Yes.
And then all are submitted to us.
well, that isn't how the commissioners want it.
I can go talk to the commissioners about it if you would like me to. Okay,
See if
I'll
they
get
should be
on the
mailed to
agenda.
them.
The commissioners are the ones that they want, okay.
They want the application?
They want it
to
mailed to them.
They want be
Yeah.
able to choose,
Mhm.
yeah.
So they want it being mailed to the courthouse.
I don't know.
No, to the committee,
The committee.
to the
It goes
committee.
Right.
Committee, not to just,
Well, on a nuts and bolts side,
Emily.
I think we're discussing advertising this and we're hung up on submit to the library,
Yeah, it
submit to
shouldn't-
the
it
county
should
commissioners,
Submit
to me.
to her, chairman of the
to
board.
your personal
Sure,
address.
yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
How will you?
I don't know.
Are you going online again to do this?
I don't think that's been done before.
It
No,
would be,
That's why the it changes.
Well,
That's why the changes.
In the past, I think they could drop it off at the library, right, or mail it to the library.
Yeah.
We could,
Well,
I think it might be better to go to a official government.
So.
We could have it mailed to the courthouse if that is what you think the commissioners want, or if anyone wants to follow up.
I think it has to come back here first.
Yes.
Last year, it was just online, so I'm not sure where the mailing part is coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that was
Did
the
we-
problem.
Okay.
That commissioners.
Well, I can go get clarification also, then I will be able to understand it better directly from them, I think, if that's okay with
Okay.
the board.
Mhm.
So Nona, to address your question, it would be basically just advertising. There will be an open trustee library, Chouteau County Library Board of Trustee position. Start, yeah, if interested, contact for more information.
Mhm.
So,
And then into.
Are we gonna say it's for Highwood?
yeah,
Yes,
okay,
for
yes,
Highwood.
because that was part of that in here.
Yep.
Yeah.
The amendment was to state the things that are on there.
So should we list the evaluation applicants based on the following criteria?
We should.
Okay, I can do that.
Mhm.
Like put that in the advertisement?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then please send to Bravo.
So do an
Any
email?
library?
So. Yeah, I think any library,
Nothing.
Any of the branch libraries?
and they could get them to us.
Okay.
Mhm.
We'll miss you.
I know, I was just gonna say, you're still gonna go. I'm still gonna take care of Steve and he's the only one.
Okay. Any other discussion on that? Is it good, Emily?
Yeah, because there's no action needed right now.
Yeah. Alright. Do we have anything else not listed on the agenda?
I would like to make just a little public comment-ishy thing. The Montana Library Association calls for different award nominees each year, leading up to the MLA conference. One of the awards is the Media Award, conferred to honor a production for broadcast or a work for publication that best underscores the value of libraries to community and society. This includes works prepared for television, radio, cable, film, and/or print media. News articles / programs and documentaries also qualify. The broadcast or publication of the nominated work should be within the 2 years preceding the annual conference at which the award is to be made. A copy of the nominated work must be submitted to the Awards and Honors Committee for review. That's the description that the state, or that the Montana Library Association puts out. This year, we nominated Bethany DeBoard for all of the incredible journalism that she has done over the last 2 years. And I found out earlier this month that Bethany was selected.
Oh, good.
So she will be in attendance at the MLA conference this Friday night to accept her award. Yep.
Thank you for.
Yep.
for Working with the River Press.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that is what I
That's
had.
exciting. Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Will you be there too?
I will.
Tonight, you will?
Yep.
Nice.
All right. Anything else? Anything else? Right here, public comment, okay, anyone, but nothing else, we don't have anything else to discuss, we're good? Okay, public opinion for items not on the agenda, but under the jurisdiction of the board, did you hear that? Public comment, items not on the agenda, but under the jurisdiction of the board, is there any comments? Yes, ma'am.
I'm Jerry Dostal, and I have comments regarding last month's job evaluation of Chouteau County Library Director Emily Wicks. Recently, I read some articles about the difference between an evaluation and a judgment. Following are a couple of excerpts on this distinction that I'd like to share. Evaluation is a positive process. It assumes one is searching for the best ways to accomplish something. Judgment is a negative process. It relies on naysaying and abnegation to eliminate options. Evaluation looks to the future. It considers all options in the context of what could be. Judgment looks to the past and regurgitates what was. Lastly, when you are evaluating, you are assessing the situation or person with emotional independence. Doing so allows you to make an unbiased evaluation of the other person and enables you to make a choice or decision without any attachments or burdens based on your bias. I have to say that I was shocked, dismayed, and appalled to see the low scores on Emily's evaluation. I felt several of the comments made came across as judgments rather than evaluations, and some things I believe to be falsehoods. Over the last year, I have been either attending the library board meetings in person, zooming in, or watching the recorded meetings. I do not remember Emily ever stating that the Big Sandy children should go to their own churches rather than gathering at their local library. I would like to know which meeting that statement was allegedly made so that I can go back and hear it for myself. If there is no record of that statement being made, then I believe that comment should be publicly retracted and an apology given. My experience with Emily has been nothing but positive. She's both competent and qualified to hold the position as library director. She not only carries out the duties listed in her job description, but in my opinion, does her job extremely well. And as mentioned by another patron last month, on some days she does it all with an extreme amount of stress. I do appreciate all the time that the board members put in, but I would like you all to remember that the board is not only an advocate for the community, but should also be an advocate for the library and its director. It is my impression that Emily does her job with the best interest of the community she serves and the library she directs in mind. And why would she not? This is her livelihood. She has poured an immense amount of energy into furthering her education and building up our library system. I see no reason why she would be inclined to purposefully cause discord or animosity, which in turn would only add more stress to her job. So let's work on building one another up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judy.
Thank you. Okay. Any other comments?
Well, I actually have a question. This is Sissy, whether you can answer it or not, but I want to know if you do a committee to look at applications, do the other trustees, board members still have a right to see the applications?
Yes, but thank you, Sissy. Of course they will.
So the committee would bring it to the board before they
Yes.
go to the commission.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
It all has to be, yes,
Okay, thank you.
yep. Anything else? All right, I have one small thing. Last meeting was, oh, I didn't like last meeting either. It was, and there was too much talking. There was too much debate. And Kim, you and I had a debate.
Yes, we did.
Yes, and it was not fun. But I also have to ask you, would you please make a public apology to Sarah? Please.
I do not think that would be wise since we have never discussed what a person's name is in the previous meeting.
It was there. It was
I
right
did
there.
not. When I discussed the staff member, I did not use a name purposely. Because I don't think it's our place to publicly discuss other staff
I
members.
agree. Well, if you refuse, then that's your right.
I will not make a statement during an open meeting about a staff member's medical record. But I would be more than happy to personally talk to the staff member.
Which you expressed.
All
So
right.
I respectfully
Okay.
decline.
All right. Thank you. All right. Well, then, I guess. we're done.
Yes.
The next, can you not, next, the now,
The next meeting will be April
23rd.
23rd at noon in Geraldine, Montana.
Yes, thank you.
Followed by a
Foundation.
foundation
Yep,
meeting.
thank you.
All right. I move to adjourn this meeting at, oh boy,
107.
1:07. Thank you. Yeah.